Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood Badger here, and I'm back. I'm not on my trapper that I league started on. Very small TLDR for that one. I decided that the Blade Trapper just wasn't worth league starting on. It had really great boss potential, but the clear was lacking so much. I'm going to be revisiting that character, but for my first build guide at the end of this week, I've actually decided on a new character, and it is, again, one of the new skills, Rage Vortex. Now today I'm going to be showcasing this character, and I am so excited to talk about this character because I think Rage Vortex is completely slept on in terms of its power and its viability. Now there's a lot of reasons why, but the main reason, in lots of different ways, is Rage Vortex has so many ways to snapshot more multipliers onto its damage. And I'll talk about that as we go through it. What is Rage Vortex, however? It's a skill that you can use. Right now, if I use it, nothing's really happening. Kind of looks like a really shitty cyclone, right? But if I Warcry, I get a bunch of rage through my Red Blade banner and my Ascendancy. I can then use Rage Vortex, and it throws out this massive spinning circle here. Now, I've also found a little bit of an interaction with the Colossus Sword, the Crusader weapon effect, to really make the AoE look way bigger than it actually is, but the edge of that circle is how big the AoE is. Now, the AoE scales on the amount of rage that you consume when you use it. So if you consume a big amount, it basically consumes a certain amount of rage. It will be massive. If I wait for this to go down a little bit, or, you know, do a couple of war cries for it to go down, the AoE is going to be a lot smaller right there. It also deals more damage based on the amount of rage that you sacrifice. So right now, the skill itself is sacrificing 20% of rage to create a rage storm, and deals 5% more damage per one rage sacrifice. So if we just calculate this right now, I have 80 rage. If I'm at full rage, right? If I'm at full rage and I cast this, it sacrifices, well, it actually sacrifices 20 rage because I've got an extra Rage Vortex sacrifices 5% of rage, so I sacrifice 25% of rage right here, which means that that's 20 rage, which means 20 times 5, I deal 100% more damage with this skill if I sacrifice max rage. So there's 100% more damage, right? Then we've got Berserk. Now Berserk is going to be giving me 19% more attack speed and 19 more damage with attacks, which is basically a 40% more multiplier right there, all right? Then we're obviously getting double damage from Intimidating Cry, which is pretty insane. So what's that? 100%, 200%, 240%. And then we're also using Phase Run right before we attack to give 23%. So 263% more damage every time we attack with this skill. Now, what does that really mean? That means that in the end game, this character is going to be scaling a ton of flat damage. I'm using a Psychotic Axe right here. We're even going to be getting 20 max rage on the belt slot when I can afford to purchase the Bear's Girdle, I think it's called. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The rest of the gear is extremely budget. I bought this Crusader plate for, I think, like 20C for a 6-link and then crafted it myself. I crafted this on Harvest myself, this vulnerability ring. We've got another ring over here, which has just got some flat physical. Using a Duresso Salute, a one alchemy item right here. Red Blade Banner was about 10 chaos when I purchased it, and then crafted the rest of the stuff. My flasks are literal garbage right now. But I'm sure you're sitting here wanting to know how this actually functions. So I'm going to run into, let's say, you know, I'm up to about tier 13 maps, but just to showcase the speed of this character, because holy moly, the speed nerfs have not affected this character at all. We're using Leap Slam, which we can use as much as we want. Obviously more move speed from Berserk. So let me just show you right here. Running into this Arachnid Tomb, and I'll show you how this character functions. Now, I was playing this character as a two-hander before I switched over to the one-hander version. It had maybe a little bit more damage, but the quality of life without Red Blade Banner was suffering so much. Because right now, I can, you know, get max rage at the beginning of a map and clear the first pack. Before, without Red Blade Banner, I had to get really close to the packs and then rage, right? But this is basically it. We use one Warcry, we attack. We use the next Warcry, we attack. One Warcry, attack. Next Warcry, attack. And that's basically how it goes, right? So on bosses, we just try and stack up as much as we can. Now, I'm not going to do the league mechanic. You've all seen how the league mechanic works. We're going to try and get to the boss, but this is basically how the build functions. It's just, honestly, I'm so impressed with this skill. This build will be able to tackle all of the content in the game very easily with a bit more currency investment, mainly into the main hand weapon, and then things like the Bear's Girdle, things like a much better amulet, and potentially in the very late game going crit, but that's going to take a lot of investment, because right now I'm still Resolute Technique, right? So, basically, we're just zipping through here, trying to get to the end. Right over here. Wherever it is, here we go. Alright, so, right here, I'm going to wait for all of this to go down. We are going to Warcry, phase run, and then just, sit there and wait. Sometimes you may have to do again. I don't think I triggered everything properly, but the boss is dead right there, as you can see. Yeah, I definitely didn't trigger everything completely properly. The damage probably could have been 2 to 2.5 times more than what I had right there on that boss, being a tier 6 boss. But that's the kind of damage that you're seeing out of this character right here. Now, we are a Berserker. That's how this is working. Warbringer is meaning that we're granting ourselves 10 rage per 5 power if you have less than 25 rage. And with Red Blade Banner, we have infinite power. So if you've got less than 25 rage, you get infinite rage. But, well, you get up to your maximum rage, right? And then that also means that if we then sacrifice some rage above, or if we Warcry, we sacrifice 10 rage if you have at least 25 rage, giving you 50% more damage on your exerted attacks, which we're exerting through Intimidating Cry. So there's 50% more damage there. There's 40% more damage on Aspect of Carnage, coupled with the amount of attack damage, attack speed, and move speed that we're getting from Rite of Ruin, Craver's Slaughter as well. The tree is fairly straightforward. I'm going to chuck it down below. Basically, we're coming up through here. We're picking up a bunch of Warcry nodes for quality of life. Basically, 4 different circles. This one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm probably going to be experimenting with dropping one of these in the late game. We're level 88 right now, and I'm just about to go into a medium cluster to give me a bunch more damage with exerted attacks. Things like Vanquisher, giving us a ton of physical damage. Onslaught from Slaughter, Cannibalistic Rite, because here's the other thing that I didn't even talk about. We don't even care about mana. You know what? I shouldn't even be using this mana flask, because we do not even care about mana. Our Rage Vortex actually costs life, which is crazy in the new mana multiplier changes. Right now, it's costing me 221 life to cast, but that just regens easily, and when I Warcry with either of these Warcries, it's just going to be super nice right there. Now, excuse me while I sell something right here, because, I do need the currency, but I will keep talking about the character. Yeah, and we've also got Life Tap linked with our Leap Slam. The only things actually costing mana are our Warcries, but they're not linked to anything, and it costs, basically nothing right there. Alright, we're going to sell this White Knight right here to this person, get 18 Chaos, but that is pretty much the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Come catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/thisisbadger. I'll be grinding this character, be killing Cirrus pretty soon today. We are only 4 Watchstones away from fighting Cirrus. And then from there, I'm just going to be grinding into the endgame bosses, probably. Probably doing a lot of the league mechanic, because it seems pretty profitable if you do it correctly. And then maybe playing around with a couple of Alva temples and that sort of thing. Maybe trying to snag up some trap gloves and sell those as well. The Slave Driver's Hands, that could be pretty darn fun. And then just looking at a bunch more quality of life on the rest of everything. I don't think my links are perfect. My axe could definitely be better. It's good. It's got a tier 3 and tier 4 roll of physical damage, which is pretty insane. But it definitely could be better right there with the Psychotic Axe. So I'm going to try and make a better one of these. And that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, Badger is out.